Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and call to order the regular meeting of the Oakdale City Council, March 10th, 2026. Sarah, will you please take the roll?
Councilmember Moore.
Here.
Councilmember Morcom. Councilmember Severson.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Mayor Zappel.
Here, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up tonight is the approval of the agenda. Council members, we have an amended version in front of us. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. Next up, approval of minutes. Two sets in front of us. Let's take the workshop minutes from February 24th, 2026. Any changes or corrections? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
I'll move approval of the workshop minutes as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? And those workshop minutes are adopted. Last set are regular meeting minutes, February 24th, 2026. Any changes or corrections here? I'll look for motion.
I'll move approval of the regular meeting minutes from February 24th as presented.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those minutes are adopted as well. Next up would be public hearing. We don't have any in front of us tonight, so we will move into open forum. Before we open up the floor, we do have one proclamation codifying the City of Oakdale's support for joining the Just Deeds Coalition. And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas discriminatory covenants were tools used to prevent certain individuals from buying or occupying property in certain areas, and they were common throughout the United States from the early 1900s to the 1960s. And whereas the purpose of discriminatory covenants was to racially and religiously homogenize communities. And whereas in 2016, the University of Minnesota founded Mapping Prejudice to expose the racist practices that shaped the landscape of the metro area. And whereas restrictive covenants are no longer legally enforceable, legal efforts to eliminate discriminatory covenants include a United States Supreme Court decision in 1948 prohibiting courts from enforcing discriminatory covenants. And whereas as a result of judicial and legislative actions, today Minnesota law and federal law prohibit discrimination in the sale or lease of housing based on race, color, creed, religion, national origin, sex, marital status with regard to public assistance, disability, sexual orientation, or familial status. And whereas in 2019, the Minnesota legislature passed a law authorizing property owners to individually discharge or renounce discriminatory covenants by recording a discharge form in the county property records. And whereas discriminatory covenants created demographic patterns that remain in place today. And whereas the City of Oakdale recognizes the harm that discriminatory covenants and the racial, religious, and other discriminatory practices that they represent cause to individuals and to society in general, and we disavow and condemn its past use. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Oakdale, or the City Council of the City of Oakdale, will support the work of the Just Deeds Coalition to educate the community about this historically discriminatory practice and take action when possible to dismantling racist systems, practices, policies in the City of Oakdale to create equity for all. We are, as a city, we are incredibly excited to join the Just Deeds Coalition. It's one of those things that is rooted in history, and so we may not see it every single day in front of us, but the legacy that these discriminatory covenants maintain in our city have no place. And by joining the Just Deeds Coalition, the city will be able to pull together resources and information for our residents where if you want to go through the legal process, which has been greatly simplified by the legislature, to eliminate these discriminatory covenants from your personal property, this information will help you to do so. And so it's just another way that we can provide information to our residents. It's a completely optional thing, but it is something that we do believe is for the betterment of our community. And so we are excited to join the Just Deeds Coalition and their work. We're still in open forum. This is an opportunity on the agenda. If anybody in the audience would like to step up to the podium, chat with us, anything that's on your mind, please feel free to do so. All that we ask is you state your name and your address for the record and proceed with your comments. Hello.
Hi, my name is Gabe Morcom. I'm at 7833 31st Street North here in Oakdale. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, council, members, city staff, for jumping in on this Justice program. I was just learning about this very recently and was able to look up which properties in the state of Minnesota, but specifically here in the city of Oakdale, that were still under discriminatory covenants. And I was startled to see how many there were still. And so it was so great to be able to bring this up with Councilmember Morcom, and knowing that this was already a passion of a few of you on the council already, to see it happen so quickly. It's only been maybe 2 weeks since I brought it up to him, and watching you guys take such charge of making sure that this was a priority for you, for our city, is, I don't know, as a resident, I'm so excited and so grateful. So thank you for your guys' efforts to make that happen.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yep.
Is there anybody else that would like to step on up and share anything with us? Welcome.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Lee. I live at 2150 Homestead Avenue North here in Oakdale, and I am part of the Girl Scout troop of 57875, and I am here selling cookies, so I will be here in the back after the meeting if anyone would like to purchase.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. Oh, cookie season. It's the best time of the year. Is there anybody else that would like to speak under open forum tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll move into consensus motions. Council members, we have 3 in front of us tonight, A through C. Any that we want to pull for individual consideration? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
I move we approve consensus motions as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. Let's check in with our advisory boards and commissions. EMC, planning, no. Nobody met. All right. Nothing under award bids tonight, so we'll move into staff reports. We have a couple items. So we will turn things over to our planning manager. Did I get the title right? Planning manager? Perfect. Luke McClanahan. Luke, come on down.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So we have a conditional use permit request at the property address 7684 Stillwater Way North. The property is zoned R1, where second garages are allowed through the conditional use permit process. I would like to note that the CUP was submitted while the city was concurrently updating the zoning code. The Planning Commission reviewed the initial CUP request back on November 6, 2025. They recommended approval. Subsequently, the conditional use permit request was tabled while the zoning code was being amended. The applicant updated their garage plans to comply with the zoning code updates, and staff has reviewed the revised building plans and have determined that they comply with the zoning code, so staff recommends approval of this conditional use permit request, subject to the conditions that are found on found within the resolution 2026-11. So there's 8 conditions of approval that I will go through really quickly here. So number 1 is that the structure shall be set back at least 10 feet from the rear and side property lines. Number 2, the structure shall not exceed 1,500 square feet in size. Number 3, the structure shall not exceed 25 feet in height. Number 4, the structure shall not be used as a dwelling unit. Number 5, the garage door cannot exceed 10 feet in height. Number 6, a building permit must be obtained. Number 7, removal of any existing temporary accessory structures on site. And finally, number 8, no commercial activities shall occur within the structure. And these conditions do reflect the new zoning code updates. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Council members, any questions for Luke? Before we get into the action, so I just want to be clear, there is no public comment associated with this agenda item. It does not require a public hearing. However, a resident submitted comments in advance that I should have read under open forum, and I neglected to do so. I want to recognize that we received their comments, we appreciate their comments, and I'm going to read them now, even though it does deviate from our standard process just a little bit. because it was my fault. I should have read it before. Dear Mr. Mayor, after viewing the proposed plan on the city's website by the applicant, we are now aware that his new proposal is not in compliance with the city code. City code has a height limit of 25 feet at its highest point. His plan shows that the building height is 21 feet 3 inches to the top of the second floor. The roof has a 6 by 12 pitch, which would add 7 feet 6 inches to the overall height, bringing it to a total of 28 feet 9 inches, which is well above the city code limit. Being this plan is out of compliance, we ask that this plan be denied until it meets city code. As it stands, the structure will greatly diminish the effectiveness of our panels to produce the intended results of which they are designed for. If he moved the plan to the west by 50 feet, this would eliminate the issue. Also, at this time, we are in a property line dispute with the applicant. We realize this is a civil matter, which is now in litigation. If a structure is built before the property and illegal placement of his fence on our property, and the building is non-compliant with city code is settled, we will seek city and civil action to correct it, which could demand removal of the structure to be back in city compliance. Luke, question for Luke. Do the revised plans meet the city code for the maximum height of the structure?
Yes, Mayor, we confirmed with our building official. We actually reviewed it several times just to double check to make sure the height does comply. It's very confusing in terms of the calculation that we use for the building height, determining building height, but yes, it does comply. And we do want to note that our building inspector will be out there when the structure is also being built, and they'll take a second look just to make sure that the height is in compliance.
Okay, thank you, Luke. Council members, let's get a motion and a second, and then we can go into comments.
I move we waive reading and adopt Resolution 2026-11, approving a conditional use permit for an oversized accessory building, second private garage, at 7684 Stillwater Way North, with conditions included in the attached resolution.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. I'll just make one comment. This is a really good example of where public feedback and public input really makes a big difference. Often in any body of law, or especially city codes, we don't recognize necessarily holes in our language until there's an example that kind of pushes it to the extreme. And in going through this process, I think we were able to learn a lot of things about our revised zoning code language. A lot of the concerns that were shared by the neighborhood, as well as feedback that was shared by the applicant, helps inform us on both sides of any issue. We take that all very seriously, and we work diligently to put forward policy and the city code that makes sense for Oakdale. At any point in consideration of an application, there may be other circumstances, whether it's attitudes, behaviors, et cetera. Unfortunately or fortunately, we cannot consider those as part of a land use or zoning application. We have to focus on the text of the city code and the application in front of us, and that's what we're doing here tonight. I want to thank our city staff for the work that they put into this to make sure that our city code is not only being followed, but being followed in spirit, but also in text. Regardless of feelings on the end use, we have to follow our laws in the city, and this is a good example of where it may not be what people had hoped for, but the law is the law. And so we have a motion and we have a second. Does anybody want to request a roll call vote?
I would like to request a roll call.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Any final comments? Seeing none, City Clerk Sarah, will you please take the roll?
Councilmember Moore,
How am I?
Or
Aye.
nay.
Yeah.
You were going to say here, weren't you?
It is habit. Yeah. Aye.
Councilmember Severson,
Aye.
Councilmember Rich,
I am voting no on this item because I do not think the size of the garage is appropriate for this location.
and Mayor Zappel.
Aye. The conditional use permit is approved 3-1. Next up, we have an agenda item from engineering, city projects. Mr. Bachmeyer, welcome. Will you please walk us through these projects?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Council. Brian Bachmeyer, Consulting City Engineer. Tonight, I'm before you seeking City Council approval of the plans and specifications for 4 city projects. For our 2026-01A, which is the 2026 street reconstruction project involving Greenway Avenue, 2nd, Grafton, 4th, and 3rd Street Court. Also, the second project is R 2026-01B, which is the Greenway Avenue sidewalk from Hudson Boulevard to 7th Street. The third project is R 2026-02, which is the 2026 mill and overlay. That involves 7th Street from 120 to Hadley and Greenway Avenue from 7th to 10th. And the fourth project is P 2026-03, which is the Tanner's Park South parking lot, a repaving project. And that includes the drive-in parking stalls south of the north parking lot in Tanner's, the boat ramp drive and parking stalls, and also the connection to 2nd Street. We're proposing that these four projects be bid as two contracts. The first contract would be for the Greenway Avenue sidewalk. We're proposing that separate because of the unique auditing requirements and federal requirements associated with the federal grant, so we wanted to do that as a standalone project. The other three projects would be bid as one contract, so that would include the street reconstruction, the mill and overlay, and the parking lot improvements. The bids for these two projects would be advertised starting upon your approval, and the bid opening would be on April 9th for council consideration of the contracts on April 28th. So the council action requested tonight is to approve the plans and specifications for the project and authorize the advertisement and collection of bids. And with that, I'd stand for any questions the council may have.
Thank you, Brian. Council members, any questions for Brian? All right, long action. Who wants to take it?
I'll take it.
All right.
I move we waive reading and adopt Resolution 2026-12, approving plans and specifications for city projects R 2026-01, the 2026 street reconstruction, including the Greenway Avenue sidewalk, R 2026-02, the 2026 street overlay, and P 2026-03, the Tanner's Park South parking lot repaving, and authorizing the advertisement for and collection of bids.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And Resolution 2026-12 is adopted. Thank you, Brian. Let's check in with our city attorney. Jim, anything for us?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, nothing specific to report, but happy to answer questions.
Anybody have any questions for Jim? And let's check in with our acting city administrator, Mr. Wold. What do we have?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. We have one item before you tonight, and we just have a quick presentation from Don Tyson, the owner's rep for the project.
Don, welcome. Please walk us through this proposed contract amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. Evening, council. Once again, Don Tyson, owner's representative for you on the exciting police expansion and city hall remodel project that we're getting ready to start up. So tonight's action is approval of amendment number 1 to BKV Group Professional Services Contract. BKV Group is the architect working on the project. When this project was started, we had a scope that the architect certainly proposed on. It was a slight remodel of City Hall and certainly the expansion of the police department. As you know, working with you over the past year, that scope has changed. City Hall now is really almost more than a heavy remodel project. In fact, when we started, we weren't even going to touch the city council chambers. As you know now, we're going to have some great new council chambers when the project's done. So in the contract, when we do get to this phase of the project called design development, where the plans are just about ready to go out to bid, you relook at what's the cost estimate going to be, and the architect can certainly negotiate with the city on a fee increase. The city administrator, Chris, has worked with BKV, and as you see there, the amendment is for $86,010. But what I want to point to is that originally this contract was 5.9% of the contract cost. With this amendment and the increase in the project cost, it's now down to 4.68%. So the city administrator has worked, it's literally in round numbers about $100,000 savings from what it could have been with a fee amendment. So that's, even though it is an amendment, it could have been a lot more, but thanks to Chris's work with the team, we're at this new number. With that, certainly take questions, but otherwise we would recommend that approval of this amendment, and the architect and the construction team will keep moving forward.
Wonderful. Thank you, Don. Anybody have any questions for Don? All right. I'll look for motion.
I move we approve BKV Group Contract Amendment number 1 in the amount of $86,010 for the police expansion and city hall project, and authorize the city administrator to sign the amendment.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that approval is given. Thank you, Don. Council presentations. Anybody have any tonight? None down here, none down here. Okay, I got a few. Spring load limits went into effect on Monday, March 3rd for the city of Oakdale, Washington County, and MnDOT. Weight restrictions or load limits are implemented each spring to preserve and protect streets that are weakened by the spring thaw by water that becomes trapped below the pavement. The weight of vehicles traveling over roads can cause them to bend and potentially crack. The limits are expected to last no longer than 8 weeks. I believe all of our streets have load limit signs posted, so we encourage people to heed those and protect our streets. We'd appreciate that. The final Oakdale Indoor Market of the season will be held on Saturday, March 21st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Discovery Center. These markets have been very popular this year thanks to a unique variety of items and the opportunity to shop local. Always sad when the indoor market ends, but that means the farmer's market is right around the corner, so it's not all bad. Oakdale Recreation is hiring summer recreation youth program instructors. This position runs from early June through mid-August. Applicants must be at least 16 years old, and the salary starts at $16.50 per hour. If you know someone looking for a summer job that incorporates fun and learning, visit oakdalemn.gov for more information, and please apply by March 27th. Always a big reminder each year, the online registration for the Pete Grasky Arbor Day Tree Giveaway will open on Wednesday, April 1st at 8 a.m. In honor of Arbor Day, the city will hand out 200 trees free to Oakdale residents on Saturday, April 25th, to those who have registered in advance. The limit is 1 Oakdale tree per address or household. More information about registering, visit oakdalemn.gov. This is always one of our most popular events each year. Registration goes super fast. So if you are interested in a tree, one of 200 that we're handing out this year, mark your calendar, set your alarm clocks, April 1st, 8 a.m., log on right away, because I think last year they were gone in just a few hours. So also this year we are not having a wait list, so lock down your tree. Finally, save the date for the second annual Oakdale Eco Fair on Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Castle Elementary School. This year, there will also be a clothing swap with donations accepted from April 6th through the 17th at City Hall and the Discovery Center. These free events are open to the public and offer information on a variety of environmental topics and initiatives. You can visit the city website, oakdalemn.gov, for more information. Very excited to keep the Eco Fair going this year and to add the clothing swap for the first time. A great opportunity to do some spring cleaning, clean out your closets, find a new home for clothes that still have some life left in them and keep them out of the landfill, which is always a win-win. So we are really looking forward to that event. Bills, claims roster, February 25 through March 10, $1.27 million and change. Council members, was there anything that we needed to pull out of there? All right, who wants to make the motion?
I'll do it. I move to approve claims for the period February 25th through March 10th, 2026 in the amount of $1,271,071.71.
A lot of ones, twos, and sevens in there. I'm trying to see, what is it when it's the same?
$1,271,072.71.
Palindrome?
Palindrome.
Yeah, I was trying to see if it was. It's not.
Oh.
It's close.
It is.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills are paid. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you and good night.